Our show today is brought to you by Vermeulen's Furniture, and they are continuing their Memorial Day sale. Check out Vermeulen's. Still a bunch of great sales going on. Thanks to Vermeulen's for helping us bring you today's show.
My brother shopped Vermeulen's this weekend and got some great outdoor furniture.
And did Nathan pay his sales tax? I'm sure he did.
I think he did. I think that is still their deal. So we are here with a stunning, hope I don't butcher any of this, but Lara Hakamaki. Hakamaki?
It's close.
Say it again.
Lara Hakamaki. It
Hakamaki.
is a very difficult name. And
You're from the UP.
Yeah, and I'm Finnish and Italian, so my name is not easy, but I would say probably 90% of people get it wrong.
Yeah, well, it's beautiful and memorable. So thank you for being here today. You're here to talk to us about the Michigan Psychological Care.
Yes. So
what can we do to help the world be better?
Honestly, just bringing more mental health care to not just Michigan, but every state and every country. Michigan Psychological Care has 5 offices, so we do have one here in Jackson that we're looking to expand very, very soon. Yes. We're bringing autism and ABA care here very soon, which helps with kiddos who have autism, bringing them to the neurotypical level of their peers. Oh, nice. And then our 4 other offices are in St. John's, Midland, Alma, and Howell.
That's awesome. Wow. You guys are doing great things. You and I have talked about some of these expanded services that you want to add, and you're also doing a podcast on mental health for Michigan Psychological Care.
Oh, that's awesome.
Tell us a little bit about that.
It's called You're Not Crazy, and you have to type my name in because I thought I was being clever with that title, but apparently everybody else thought it was clever too. So You're Not Crazy by Lara Hakamaki. It's on all podcasting platforms. Basically, I talk about everything that people are a little bit too afraid to talk about.
Okay.
If you think about being called crazy, I know everybody has always been called crazy. Oh, she's crazy. Oh, he's crazy.
I think I'm crazy.
I don't think you are, but I mean, you can come see us. And so
that is the best thing I have heard all day long.
Because all
are welcome, all levels
of crazy.
Yeah, but
crazy's not bad.
Crazy's a good thing.
Crazy's a good thing.
I wouldn't want to be like
crazy.
I use it in it's a term of endearment when I use it.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Thanks, I'll have to keep that in mind.
You're so crazy.
So crazy is actually not a symptom, a phrase, or a diagnosis in the DSM, which is the Diagnostic Manual for Mental Health Disorders. So that's why I used that title. And then in there I talk about things such as school shootings and kind of try to collate that with mental health.
Yeah.
I've done living with Tourette's, all these different topics, sex and intimacy issues, toxic relationships. I've interviewed other people. We've had some physicians on, care providers on. So we have a good mix of people coming in. I took a couple weeks of a break before the pageant that I just did here, which I'm sure we'll talk about.
Yeah, we're going to get to that, yes.
So I took a couple weeks of a break, but it's going to start back up, and it's every Monday.
So if somebody's sitting at home and they're just struggling, you know, whether it's, you know, their mind is racing or their heart is racing or they just can't move forward, they need a little help. How can they get a hold of you guys, or how can you best help?
Yeah, definitely. So I actually just suggested to one of my friends and one of my family members just to listen to the podcast as just a first general basis. And then also I connect them with our group or other therapy groups near them if they're looking for in-person and they're not near us.
Okay.
You can find us on our website, which is www.michiganpsychologicalcare.com.
I'll send that to you, Andy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know. I'm familiar. I've been
I sent it to him.
I've had a tour of the building.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
So you can also call us, you can have a physician refer you, you can reach out to me I handle all of our social media. So basically any way, if you type in Michigan Psychological Care to Google, wherever it brings you, you can get a hold of us.
Help is there for sure. Before we talk about the pageant, I want to ask you about summer, because summer does change mental health, doesn't it?
Yes. So people feel better typically during the summer months. There's a lot more sunlight, they're outside getting more exercise, they feel better, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you stop going to therapy.
That's a good point.
Oh yeah, just because you feel better now doesn't mean that you need to stop learning those tools and those skills to handle hard situations, because they could happen now, or, you know, when it gets to the colder months, fall and winter, you want to have those tools in your little bag so you can pull them out instead of having to work on it while it's happening.
Oh, that's such good advice.
Part of your experience comes from one of the other things you do. The reason you weren't at the Rose Parade yesterday, you were competing in pageants. Talk a little bit about you had some good success.
I did. So actually last year was my first pageant ever. It was Miss Michigan USA.
Wow.
I was Miss Ithaca.
Oh.
And then this year I went back because I had such a great experience, and I was Miss Gratiot County, and I actually won Miss Congeniality this year.
Nice.
So that's where all of the girls vote, and they say, oh, Lara was the nicest girl. She helped us feel so confident and beautiful. And
what a great award.
Yes.
That's because she's wicked smart.
Yeah. So I had a lot of fun. I thought it was a great experience, and I am.
Do you know what
going to do it again.
congenial and congeniality means?
Are you kidding me right now?
Sandra Bullock. That's what it means.
I know that's what it means.
Yes,
It means-
I know what it means.
What?
Like poise and kindness and
Perfect personality.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I looked it up.
Sitting right here.
Because I didn't know past Sandra Bullock, so I had to look
Oh,
it up.
that's so funny.
And she was Miss Congeniality.
Who is this?
That's one of my chickens. That's Zoe. I have 31 animals.
Oh my gosh.
And they all have names and different personalities, and they all get hugs and kisses goodnight. So.
Oh, serious?
Oh yeah.
What's your platform, Lara?
My platform is mental health awareness. It ties into work very closely. I also just got certified in mental health first aid for the youth on Wednesday, right before the pageant.
Talk a little bit about that. What is mental health first aid for youth?
So it's essentially where if somebody is going through a crisis or you've noticed a change in someone, specifically the youth, that's where you kind of get a hold of them and make it so they're not in a crisis. Okay. Where do you refer them to? How do you get them to be in a safer position? Nice. And you can actually take this class usually for free, but if you reach out to the National Council for Behavioral Health, they hold these classes all over Michigan.
That's incredible. Cool. We need to go back to the picture that was just up.
Let's go back, and now's a good time to bring up that your daughter has had some ambitions.
We just have to take a moment for this dress.
Thank you.
This is stunning.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I love it. You people had to have been going crazy when you walked out in that.
Oh yeah, and honestly, there's a few people who weren't such a huge fan of it because it's a little risky.
Well,
but
edgy.
Yes, I had so much fun. The feathers were a fun little touch. It was sparkly. I love sparkles.
Oh, yeah.
And I just felt the confidence when I was walking in it.
Perfect.
And you got into this later in life, right?
Yeah,
you didn't
last
grow
year.
up doing this, like
Right.
you know.
No?
And we're talking about you have a 13-year-old who
Yeah.
is, probably just saw all the princesses at the Rose Parade and wants to be
she's friends
one.
with Maddie O'Neill, and Maddie sent her a note last night, like, hey, this is really something that you should consider. And when Katie told me, I thought she was like laughing it off, like, oh, this is sweet, ha ha ha. And then last night later, she said, Mama, this is something I really might want to explore, so I need all the help I can get.
We'll get together and talk about it. It's a great experience because initially I thought that it was going to be a bunch of mean, catty girls. I'm out to win the. Everybody is so incredibly helpful, kind, beautiful, intelligent.
Yeah.
It is just the most amazing
What's
community.
the interview process like? Is that the most difficult?
Honestly, it is hard. It's not like sitting here with friends like you two.
Yeah.
There is a panel of judges, and they ask you questions. You only have 2 minutes.
Oh.
And so you really want to get your
And
personality
we've all
across
seen
in
the
2 minutes.
disasters. The
Oh, yeah.
disaster
They
answers.
are, the disasters are fantastic.
They are fun to
They are.
watch.
They're
but-
funny. Yeah, but it's stressful.
Right.
Right beforehand, I was doing the breathing techniques, and
nice.
I actually think I was breathing a little too much because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna pass out.
Feel lightheaded. So you mentioned something, and I think this is just sitting here with you. You seem wise beyond your years, and with a beautiful heart for serving people. It does seem like the what do I want to say? Like the outside opinion of pageants would maybe be more of a concern about mental health. Like, is it too much pressure? Is it too much stigma? Is it this or is it that? But it sounds like your take on it is the exact opposite.
Yes. So actually, Michigan Psychological Care sponsored me for the pageant, and I did this because when you think about those in pageants, you think about beautiful women who have probably tons of money, no stresses. They don't struggle at all. In reality, when you go and meet the women, they're so open about mental health struggles. Lots of them have the same platform of mental health awareness or suicidality. And really, that's why I wanted to take Michigan Psychological Care and my platform of mental health awareness in there to show little young women, teens, even adult women and men, that it is okay to struggle, but there are resources for you to get help, such as Michigan Psychological Care.
Awesome.
Well, thank you
That's
so much
fantastic.
for all you're doing for our community and through Michigan Psychological Care. Always great to see you.
Yeah, it was great to see you.
Lara Hakamaki from Michigan Psychological Care, and check out her podcast. Visit the Michigan Psychological Care website. More of the morning show right after this.